Bonjour everyone, and welcome to this webinar. I'm really happy to introduce myself. I'm Judith. I'm in charge of representing MBS, Montpellier Business School. I'm also an alumni of the school, and I graduated from the Master in Management in 2015. I'm here today with my colleague Joseph, who will be hosting the chat, which is why we are two people in this webinar today. So I won't be able to answer the questions in the chat because Joseph will be handling it, and I'll be hosting the presentation. Very excited to see you all. As you can see, I'm working from home today, but we are able to go out sometimes, even if we have a curfew. I hope all of you are well. Let us know in the chat where you're from so we can locate you and say hi in your country. Today, the webinar is going to be about how to maximize your chances to be admitted at MBS. So most of you maybe have some questions about admission process, how to get ready better, and we are here to help you today. Here you can see a picture of all the representatives. You may know some of them. So you have Judith and Joseph. This is Joseph and I. You see us real, well, on WebEx. And you have Nasira, who is in charge of Africa and the Middle East. And you have Audrey, who is in charge of the team, and Asia, except for my territory. Joseph is in charge of Europe and Americas, and I'm in charge of Asia, except for China. So today what we're going to see is how to maximize your chances to be admitted at Montpellier Business School. So you'll see that you will have a dedicated team and an assigned representative to help you. Also, you'll see what are our programs that are taught in English or French. Also, you'll see what are the admissions procedures. Some of you may know them, some of you may not know them. And then about the deadline and a little gift for January 21. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and Joseph will be answering them. And we will have a Q&A session, question and answer session at the end of the webinar. Thank you. So first of all, you may know MBS. For those who don't know, please contact us at apply2. Joseph, if you can put the email so that students can contact us because they don't have any information about the school. For those who already chose MBS, another reason to choose MBS is that this school helps you and guides you from A to Z. So our job as a representative like Joseph and I or others that you may know is to help you define your professional project. So we will hear from you, we will try to help you locate and understand what kind of project you wish to do and why MBS, why France, why this program in particular. This is our job here to advise a program or not. Sometimes we may even tell you, well, this program, we don't have it at the school, so go to this school because they don't have it, okay? The idea is not just to convince you to come, it's also to help you accomplish your project. Then you'll see that we'll be helping you to apply, and this is what we're doing today. We are giving you some tips, and you'll see that later, to help you for coaching for the test and the interview, as you'll see that the admission process is entirely online. Then you'll see that after you get admission, and after I hope you get admission, 3 months before arriving, you will have support for visa obtention and housing. So we'll be helping you find an accommodation and support for visa obtention. You'll see that you will have to do a lot of administrative paperwork, and we will have other webinars coming up in a few months about that. And then when you arrive in Montpellier Business School, you have a seminar in September 21 with an orientation seminar of 3 weeks where you have French session, and some workshops in English or French, depending on where you're from, about how it works to be in France, bank account, how to do your transportation cards, etc., etc. So here you see that MBS is here to help you choose a school, MBS, that guides you and helps you from A to Z. You will have your dedicated representative like me or Joseph who will be here to help you accomplish your goal. So you'll see here that you have the possibility when you go to MBS to study in English while living in France. So we have several programs in MBS. Some are undergraduate. So we have the Bachelor program, which is a 3-year program, English or French. And then we have the Master in Management, which is a 2-year program. It's a postgraduate program. Then we have the Master of Science. So the difference between all those programs, first we have undergraduate program, meaning that you can join after high school, which is a bachelor in 3 years in English or French. You have possibility of double degree, possibility to go abroad as well. If you have any questions, please let us know in the chat and we'll be happy to assign you to a dedicated representative because this is not the point to discuss the details of the program, if I may say that today. Then you have the Master in Management, which is a 2-year program. First year, general. Second year, you can specialize. It's in English or French, and you can join after a bachelor of 3 years. For instance, I'm an alumni of the program Master in Management, the Grande École, we say in French. After that, you have the Master of Science. The Master of Science is open for Bachelor 4 years, but for students who have a 3-year Bachelor, you have the possibility to do what we call a pre-MSc of 3 months starting in June, and then do the MSc, the Master of Science. The Master of Science is a program that is specialized directly, entirely in English, 14 to 16 months, starting in September. Please note that all the programs start in September, and admission will be until June. So at the Master of Science, you can see several programs, one in marketing, one in finance, business excellence, international business, and digital transformation. Here I gave you an overview, very general, about all the programs we have. If you have any questions more specific about the content of the program, please contact us in the chat and we will give you the contact of the representative that will be here to help you. So I will start with the admission process for the Bachelor and the Master in Management. As a reminder, Bachelor is for undergraduate students, and then the Master in Management is for students looking for a Master. Bachelor program is a 3-year program, but you can join any year, depending on which level of studies you are. And the Master in Management is a 2-year program, and you need to have at least a Bachelor of 3 years or 4 years, or have sometimes a Master already to do a Master in Management. So the application is online. First of all, we'll need you to do the application documents. So the degrees, the higher degree, the transcript, you will also need to take an English test. It can either be all English test internally, or it can be the IELTS, the TOEFL, or the TOEIC. Same for the reasoning and analytical skills. You can take all English or reasoning tests for free. And then you have the interview, which is a video recorded. So the entire process can be approximately 2 weeks to 3 weeks, depending on how fast you are. If you are very reactive in putting your documents, we are reactive to send you all the tests. If you take too long, we are adapting to your pace. So make sure that you have all the documents, and we'll give you some tips after that. So the process of admission is entirely online. No need to send us the document by post office. We don't receive letters. We receive all the application on the platform. So application documents. Then you'll be taking the reasoning and analytical skills test, then the English test online, and the interview video recording. For the pre-master or the Master of Science, first you will need to put all the documents. We'll need your transcript of the 3 last years of studies, the higher degree copy. Then you'll be taking all the tests. The TOEFL, IELTS, or TOEIC are not mandatory if you want to take an English test, meaning that, for instance, you don't want to take the IELTS because you don't want to pay in addition, and you're sure that you want MBS, you are free to take a test of English internally. Just mention that during admission. The process for Master of Science is application document, then English test online for free, same as the Bachelor and the Master in Management, and the pre-recorded interview. If it's not clear about the admission process, quick reminder, it's a process entirely online with 3 to 4 steps. First, application document, then English test and general test, the reasoning test, and to finish, the interview. All those tests are mandatory. We have some conditions where some people are not obliged to take the test depending on the program they're looking for. But usually all the tests are mandatory. So, first question, how to access the application platform? Meaning that right now you may be interested in joining the school, you want to apply, how? So Joseph, I will ask you if you can please put the link on the chat so that students are able to see the platform as well. You have 2 types of way to access it. Well, first, maybe you have received an email from us, from the team, either Joseph, Nasira, Audrey, or I, and you'll see a little button in the email where it's written online application. You can click on the button and then you will be directly on the platform. Other way to join the application platform, maybe you are navigating through a website and you access the admission section. Here, you will need to click on online application. And once you press this button, well, you'll be going to the platform. Then you arrive on the platform. So please note that we already have a tutorial that we are able to send you as well. Let us know by email. You already have my email, otherwise you wouldn't be here today. And I'll be sending you the tutorial by email, no worries. So first you have this first page where you'll be asked to put all the documents, fill out, name, first name, gender, etc. Then you validate. Then you put that you want to apply for an admission test. and you select admission contest, meaning that you wish to, to have all those tests and do the selection process of admission of MBS. You fill out all the information about the profile, so you will have some information about the degree, the academic background you have. You will have some question about the English test, some question about experience. Maybe you don't have experience, and it's okay. Please note that if you don't have experience, you just put NA, not applicable, or something like 0, and we will understand that you don't have experience. This is not a problem, no worries. It's just part of the admission process. You won't be like punished because you don't have experience. It's just for us to have all this information. Then school curriculum will be asking you all the degrees you have. Maybe you are still ongoing, so please indicate that during the process. Language proficiency, so maybe you speak English, maybe you speak French, Hindi, or Spanish, etc., etc. Here is the section where you can indicate that. Then the last step, almost, is where you have to upload all the documents. So you'll be asked to put your ID, either your national ID or your passport. If you have it, it's better for us to have your passport so that we are able to already register your passport. Then we'll need your resume in English or in French if you wish to apply in French. We'll also need your certificate of French language if you want to take courses in French. If you want to put your IELTS, TOEIC, or TOEFL and English test, you can put it here. Otherwise, you will be required to take our English test, as mentioned before, the alternative, for free. You will also be required to put all your transcripts, the 3 last years of your studies, and your degree. If you don't have your degree yet, it's okay. You just let us know. As you can see here on the last page, maybe you don't see well because it's written in little. You have all the numbers of each representative, and normally you should be already in contact with your dedicated representative. If that's not the case, please email us. Joseph will put the email in the chat and let us know if you have any questions. So this is the process for the first step, which is the application file. So once the application is complete, you'll be asked to pay the 90 euros of application fees, and then it will go for evaluation. To check your application, this is something you can do as well. You just go to submitted application and you'll see your application if you wish to check something. Usually once you validate it, you cannot change anything. So make sure that everything goes well during the entire process. And each representative is here to help you if you have any questions. So for the application file, some tips to maximize your chance. Here, the idea is that we met with the team and we were wondering how we can help you get better chances to get admission at MBS. As we are the representative, we are looking at your file, of course, but we are not the one evaluating. The one evaluating is another team who is in charge of evaluation. For us, it's mainly helping you, guiding you with your project, and we'll be here all the way. First of all, we suggest and we strongly advise that you prepare all your documents in a PDF format to upload them in the platform. If you're not comfortable with that, let us know. You have some platform like Convert PDF or Compile PDF. I mean, online, you will see a lot of applications. But if you're not comfortable, let us know and we will help. Then we suggest that you title all your documents. For instance, some of you may scan all your documents, and this is okay. Your transcript of a semester 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. So please compile all the documents together, and you can name the file transcripts. Same for the resume. It'll be easier for you, it'll be easier for us, and it'll be easier for the institutions, all the other institutions maybe, where you're going to apply. Also, we'll help you. We'll ask you, to compile your transcripts in one scan, so that we don't have like 12 transcripts to read. Because each year you may have 2 transcripts or 4. It depends on how the grades system. But we will need you to compile everything in one scan. Also, some of you may come from country where we don't speak the language. So if your degrees and transcripts are not in English, French, or Spanish, please have them translated officially. Meaning that if your transcripts are in, Japanese, in character that we don't know, Russian, or other languages that we don't understand, unfortunately, please have them translated because we won't be able to evaluate them otherwise. Also, you'll be asked to put a picture of you so that we are able to identify and make sure that this is you on the interview recording. So it's not just for fun that we take pictures, but here we don't need an ID, official ID. You can take a professional picture, quite nice looking, with your phone. And then you can download it also on your profile. Nota bene is that letter of recommendation, letter of motivation, statement of purpose, they are not necessary, nor mandatory to apply. So if you put them, please note that we don't have the obligation to read them, especially the admission staff, as this is not required, and this will not add additional point. It's a good thing that you're motivated and you were recommended, and we are really excited for you. However, this is not something that is going to bring you some bonus points or something like this. So here are some tips to maximize your chances for the application file. Then I mentioned before about the general test. So you will have a reasoning and logical test format for students who are already signed up for the, for the GMAT or for the GRE. Well, good luck, and we wish you well. If you think you don't want to do the GMAT or the GRE, well, it's okay. We have an alternative, which is a general test. It's an internal test for free with 45 questions, and it's divided into 3 parts with 15 questions per part. So we have a verbal part, we have a logical part, and we have a numerical part. Here you just see some screenshots, so you don't see well, but for you to have an idea of the questions you're going to have, it may be like some colors, and blue is to sky, what green is to forest, for instance. I just made that up so that you have an idea. It's going to be a little bit more complicated, of course, but this is for you to have an idea. Then you're going to have the logical reasonings, for instance, with the domino thing. Here you can see, for instance, you have several dominoes that follow each other, and you have to say which domino is next. Okay, some question like this. And numerical reasoning, the last part, is mainly about problems. For instance, if I'm taking a shower of 3 minutes and 3 gallons of water are running, in how long will I have spent that much liter of water? Okay, this is for you to have an idea. You'll see that this format is not unique in the world, and to help you, we have some tips. So like I said, 45 questions, 3 parts, 15 questions per part. For the general test, 1 word, practice. How? First of all, we suggest that you look for reasoning and logical test example on the web. You have a lot of GMAT, for instance, practice that you can do. Usually, I think GMAT is a little bit more challenging, if I may say that. And make sure also that you have a good timing when doing all the problem reasoning. This is not something that you just find out like this in 1 minute. It requires some practice. So make sure you practice even before you finalize your application with us. Then you see that once you finish your application, you will receive this link for the general test, and we only have 5 days to complete it. You will have a practice test with 15 questions, so make sure you are already trained, but I suggest that you're already trained before, not just the day you receive the link. And you will have 5 days to complete the test. So some students may say that they don't have a good connection to internet, etc. Please make sure that you have a good connection the day you take the test. And please make sure that this is you who is taking the test, because we are going to check anyway. Then the English test. So we spoke about the application file. We spoke about the reasoning test. Now we are speaking about the English test. So the English test, wherever you're from, is mandatory. We know some of you may speak English fluently, and it's very good. So the test won't be that difficult. And for those who are a little bit worried about the English, you wouldn't understand my presentation. So I think you all have a good level of English, at least decent. So you will have several parts. You will have first a 5 video-based questions. So a video, a very short video will be going, and you will be trying to understand, and you have some questions about this video. Then you will hear an audio, and you will have 8 questions about this audio extract. And the last part is a writing question. So this is quite similar to what you can find, for instance, for the IELTS or the TOEFL. So maybe a shorter version. I'm not sure. It's I think it's like 25 minutes. So yeah, definitely shorter. But still, the level and required and the questions will be quite similar. So if you want to practice, you can also use IELTS or TOEFL exercises. Some tips to maximize your chances for the English test. Practice, of course. Make sure that you're good on timing. The day of the exam, you may be stressed. We know it's normal. However, make sure that you manage the time well, because most of the students, sometimes they don't really look at the time and they're stressed, and at the end they may fail. We don't want you to fail. So this is why we are doing this webinar. Also, we suggest that you work on your grammar and writing skills, and some websites to help you practice. Perfect English Grammar, Quizlet, BBC, Business English sites. If you used to watch series, TV shows in English, keep going. Also read some articles. I mean, you have to get familiar with all the academic English. You can find also some practice tests for TOEFL, for IELTS, even for TOEIC. I mean, the idea is for you to be familiar with this type of test. Same for the reasoning test. You will receive the link and you will have 5 days to complete this test. Here, there's no practice link like for the reasoning test, so make sure that you are ready. We know that some students have the English as the main language, which is fine. However, here there is to check your grammar, your vocabulary and all. So make sure that you're still kind of prepared. It's a suggestion. And the final step, and the most important, in my opinion, I think, it's the pre-recorded interview. What's the format? So the format of the interview is going to be about a dozen questions approximately, and each question we ask for an answer of maximum 1 minute 30. Some candidates may give us an answer of 10 seconds. Honestly, this is not enough, and this doesn't look serious. So you won't, you bring your chances to be admitted, sorry. However, if you have, a lot to say, 1 minute 30 may look very short, but this is it, and this is also the idea to see how you manage your time. Also, please note that the people in front of you, you won't have people in front of you. You will be talking to a camera, and you will see the questions popping up in your screen, like, what's your name? I mean, I'm just making up questions. Where do you live? Why MBS? Why do you think it's going to help you? So the questions are going to appear. You answer to them either with your phone or either with your computer. Make sure that you have a good connection, and you just answer each question 1 minute 30. Here we'll be asking for your ID. Make sure that you look kind of nice. We don't ask for suits, but if you want to, please be my guest. And we'll ask for your ID as well to make sure that this is you. For the environment, make sure that you are ready in a place where you don't have much noise, so that you can be quite natural. And we don't want you to be helped by someone. Some of the students, sometimes they get helped to answer questions of the interview. Honestly, the questions are about yourself. So who else better than you can know the questions to who are you? Okay. So we don't want to hear like your mom saying, say that, say that. This is not the point. The point is that you answer the question. And for the technical aspect, we'll ask you to have a good connection. Make sure that you only have the interview application open so that you don't have too many notifications and, a lot of wrong connections going on. Some tips for the interview, and we are here as representatives to help you as well to make sure that you are well prepared for the interview. Why did I say it's the most important part, in my opinion? It's because when we do all the average to get your final grade for admission, this is the pre-recorded interview that weighs the most in all the grades. So if you fail the interview, honestly, you will fail your admission. Even if you manage to get like average grade to the English test, to the admission, and to the reasoning test, if you don't do well to the interview, honestly, chances are very low. However, if you do very well to the interview, you'll see that even if you didn't do so well to the reasoning test, which is usually happening because some people are scared about this test, no worries. This is where you can catch up. So, some tips to maximize your chance. So, the interview is like an introspection, where you have to analyze yourself, to think of what you've done before, who you are, what do you like, why you're doing this project, why you're applying to MBS. So, the idea is that you think in advance, of course, not the day of the interview, about what you would like to say and why you would like us to recruit you. So first of all, we suggest that you think about some characteristic of your personality or things that you have accomplished recently. For instance, if you're proud of something about that you did, projects, your quality, something recent. Because if it's something that you did when you were a kid and now you are like 25, honestly, we want something very recent, some elements. Also, know that the best way to succeed your interview is to think about the reason why you're going to France and why you're going for this project of studies. I mean, if you're going to France, you thought about this before. If you're going for a master, for instance, at MBS. So think of this, and then you write it down, you practice, etc., and then you'll be ready to answer the questions as well. Please note that we want to get to know you, and like Oscar Wilde said, be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Another information is about the deadline for September 21 intake. We have only one intake per year, which is September 21. The deadline is June 21st. Why? Because usually the students coming from abroad, they have at least 3 months to do the visa procedure, to get settled and all the paperwork. Because when you come abroad, except if you're French, here it's okay, but still the deadline is the same. Well, you have a lot of paperwork to do, and this can be quite stressful sometimes. So the idea is that you get rid, if I can say that, of the admission step to get into the how am I preparing to come to France. Surprise, for January 21st, we are happy to offer all students attending the webinar, so you guys, a free application waiver, meaning that instead of 90 euros of application fee for whatever the program you wish to apply at MBS, you have a free application fee. So this offer is valid until end of January 21st only. So if you apply on February 1st, it's too late to get the waiver. Okay. If you applied before I spoke, it's also too late because it's an offer from the 1st to the end of January. So if you applied during the month of January and you send me this code on the email apply to that Joseph is going to put, well, you can benefit from an application fee waiver. And this is a surprise for January 21st. Let us know if you have any questions about this as well. Here, I'm done with the presentation. You have the info, and I don't think you can see well. So Joseph is going to put the apply to email at montpellier-bs.com. Thank you for listening, and we're all here for your questions.
Thank you for attending this this webinar. So we can start with some of the questions that were asked before. So if you'd like to answer them, Judith, I'm sure it can enlighten some of our potential students. So could we submit a GMAT in place of a reasoning test?
Could we submit? Sorry, Joseph.
Yeah. Could we submit a GMAT in place of a reasoning test?
Oh, yeah, sure. Good question. Thank you. Yes, if you don't have, well, the idea is for the reasoning test is to replace, to be an alternative for free of the GMAT. So if you already took the GMAT and you're happy about your score, please send us the GMAT. I mean, you took it already. It was quite challenging. The GMAT cannot be more than 2 years, though. But however, you can still send us the GMAT. Same for the GRE, less than 2 years, instead of the general test. The general test, which is the reasoning test, it can be done because you don't have the GMAT or the GRE. It's a free alternative that we offer our candidates.
Thank you for your answer. So let's go to the next one. Are we exempted of the English test if we have studied 3 years in an American university?
Okay, thank you for the question. So for the bachelor and the master degree, the master in management, the English test is mandatory. Wherever you're from, whatever your nationality is, whatever you studied before in English or French, the English test is part of the admission process. So you can either send us the TOEFL, TOEIC, or IELTS, or you will be taking our English test. For the MSc, which is a different program that I mentioned before, the English test is mandatory, except if you are from a country where English is the official language. For instance, if you are from the US, from Nigeria, from India, from the UK, countries where English is the official language, it's not mandatory. But if you studied in English in Morocco, even if you speak very well English, I understand. However, you still have to take the English test because you studied in Morocco, and well, this is part of the admission process. Morocco, the English is not the official language.
Okay, great. Who have to take the general test?
So who has to take the general test? All the students who wish to apply for the bachelor degree, the undergraduate program, or the master in management. For the Master of Science, there's no general test, except if the students who is applying for the bachelor or the master in management already took the GMAT or the GRE. Here it doesn't have to take the test. But this, we will see that when we check your application as representatives anyway.
Okay. Thank you again for this. We had also an interesting question. Are math very important to apply?
Good question. And I saw that you answered. Thank you, Joseph. So math, we look at math. I mean, we don't mind if you have math in your transcript. It's okay if you don't have it either. It depends on what kind of degree you're looking for. But honestly, as this is a business school, we won't mind if you're not good at math. Okay, it's not a problem. However, make sure that you are aware that you will have some topics with some numbers like finance or accounting. So here you will still need to work a little bit more, and I'm not into math either, so I understand. You and I graduated from the school. I didn't really enjoy accounting and finance, but you still manage because the professors are helping you anyway. But so if you're not good at math, it's okay, and you might not do so well at the reasoning test, and this is okay because you're going to do well at the interview.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can go to the school anyway.
How now do we apply the fee waiver to our application?
Okay, thank you for the question, and I'm happy you listened until the end, especially about the fee waiver. So this is a special offer valid from January 1st this month until end of January, so 2 weeks left. How do you apply it? You write to the email that Joseph put in the chat, and you just mention your name, your surname, and you said that you attended the webinar, and you can write that you wish to apply you wish to have the application fee waiver, and when you apply, once you start your application, we'll waive the fee. It's the representative from your territory who will do it. So you write us an email first saying that you wish to apply and benefit from the application fee waiver because you attended this webinar. You're welcome. Do we have any other question for today?
Make the most of this webinar, like to ask the questions you might have, and Judith will be happy to answer them. So for the time being, that was all the questions we collected in the chat anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, waiting maybe for last minutes, perhaps, with
Sure. If we don't have any questions, it's okay. I mean, we can close the meeting. However, if we do have questions, please feel free because we are available right now. We have another webinar after in French, so if you wish to attend, feel free. However, yeah, you can. Okay, we have some questions now.
Yeah. So if I have completed my, I think it's graduation from correspondence, am I eligible for a Master in Management or an MSc?
Thank you for the question. So it's true that we have some students from some countries who did all the courses, from correspondence, like you say. As long as you have transcripts and that you have a degree, to us, the fact that you did on-site or online or from correspondence, it's okay. Okay, so you are eligible. Please send to the email here. You can send the transcripts to the representative, and we'll be checking as well to make sure that you're not applying for and it's a waste. So we'll be making sure that yes, you are eligible.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you for this answer. Now from Carlos, who I know personally.
Hola, Carlos.
So a question about the interview. Will it be conducted by one person, or how does it work? If you could tell us a bit more.
So for the interview, it's a 20 to 25 minutes pre-recorded interview. So you will receive a link, or everything will be done by email or by WhatsApp, whatever the way. And you will receive a link. You have to connect. Make sure that you look nice because we will see you with a camera, either with your phone or with your laptop. and the questions will be appearing, but you won't have a person. You won't have people in front of you. We'll be in charge of evaluating the videos after we receive you recording. So you will not see someone. You'll be talking to the screen of your phone or of your computer, which is quite a difficult exercise, if I may say. And how it works, well, the questions are appearing. You have 1 minute 30 to answer each question. For instance, can you tell us about your name? Can you introduce yourself? Then you have 1 minute 30 to introduce yourself, blah, blah, blah. My name is blah, blah. Then you have another question like, why MBS? Well, because blah, 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 etc. And then you have, well, approximately 10 questions about this, for the interview.
Okay, great. Yeah, great tips to give to our candidates. Now, when will the results be known?
Okay, so the process, well, all the admissions are ongoing, meaning that there's not a specific date. For instance, if you apply today, January 13, and you put all the documents today because you were motivated, you wish to benefit from the application fee, we will waive the fee tomorrow. And then you'll be receiving the link tomorrow or the next day to do the test, 5 days after you finish. And then we answer. So it depends. Usually we like to say the process is 3 weeks. But honestly, if the candidate is very motivated and very reactive to everything we ask, it can go a little bit faster. However, if you are taking ages to upload one document, etc., it can take months. So usually motivated students, they have everything ready, except maybe the transcript of the semester, which is normal. And it can take maybe 10 days, something like this. But in high season, we ask the students to know that it's 3 weeks, so that we don't ruin dreams.
All right. And about admissions, are they rolling?
Yes, admissions are open for September 21 for this year. So we have one intake in fall, and they are running until end of June. So make sure that you apply, the earlier the better. I didn't mention that here because this is not about the programs, but still, please know that we offer scholarship up to 2,000 euros, depending on how well you do at admissions, which is also why we gave this webinar, because we want to help you. And well, you have more possibility, more chances to get a scholarship and to do well, for instance, in February than in end of June, because end of June we won't have any scholarship left at their role on a first come, first serve basis. So right now we have scholarship available because this is not the high season yet, if I may say that. But end of May, beginning of June, honestly, if you're counting on a scholarship, even partial, it's difficult.
Thank you for answering this question. Now we have a new one. Could a student having already a bachelor degree, can he still come and study like a bachelor degree at Montpellier Business School?
So you have a bachelor degree and you want another one. Yes, you can. However, as representative, we may ask why you want another bachelor degree to understand better. This is our role as representative also, to question what you're doing, because you'll see that when you validate and you get admission at MBS, we are not just the only one controlling, reviewing what you're doing. Then you'll go through Campus France, which is an organization from the government. You have one in each country, and they'll be reviewing your file and asking you that question, like, you have a bachelor already, why are you doing another one? So all your answers will have to be very well constructed and built to make sure that you're convincing, which is why we will be doing the filter to understand what is your project, to help you get the visa as well, of course. So yes, it's possible to do another bachelor degree, but we will ask you why you're doing another one, which will be the role of the representative to help you better.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Another question from Sakshi. A graduation degree, is it compulsory, or can I submit only my mark sheets, so the transcripts of records, instead of a degree?
So thank you. So for the graduation degree, the higher degree is a part of the admission process. For instance, you may be in a 4-year bachelor and you are currently enrolled in your last year. So of course you don't have your degree yet, which is normal because you will have your exams maybe in June or even July. We are not going to wait until June or July for the documents. So you can already put all your mark sheets compiled in the same PDF, please, and then you may get, depending on how well you do, admission, and this admission will be guaranteed under the condition that you get your degree. I mean, if you don't get your degree, you cannot come. For your information, if you don't pass high school, you cannot come for the bachelor. If you don't pass the bachelor degree, you cannot come for the master. I mean, we look at that as well to avoid that you will be refused for the visa procedure as well.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you, Jude, about this. Could a student having like 2 years of higher education, can he still apply to a third year of the bachelor degree?
Yes, back plus deux. Okay. Yes, of course. If you have 2 years of higher education and that you passed the first year and the second year, you can enter, well, be eligible for the third year of the bachelor degree. Please note that places for the second and third year are very limited. I think we have less than 10. So make sure that you apply the earlier the better. I would say if that's your plan to apply for a third year bachelor.
Great. Another question regarding the admission. Will it be possible to apply for a master program if you hold already 4 years, a 4 years degree in engineering?
Sure. If you have already the diploma in engineering, meaning that you finished, you'll be eligible for a master program. Please note that we have several profiles with this type of background, meaning engineering. If you haven't studied management, it's okay. The idea, I guess, is for you to combine engineering and management and to have this double skill, double cap, if I can say that. So yes, it's possible for you to apply for a master program as you hold already maybe a 4-year degree in engineering. This is something very common that we see in the school and in the schools in France in general. Do we have any other questions? I see that people woke up suddenly. I'm really happy about this. If you have any questions regarding a specific program, please let us know. Joseph put the email already and we'll be happy to put the email again to answer all your questions. Same if you wish to benefit from the application fee waiver. Like I said before, this is a specific offer because you attended the webinar, so don't tell your friends, or well, you can tell your friends, we won't be able to control anyway, but we want to give you this push in this difficult situation with a little gift of application fees waived. If we don't have any questions, thank you so much, everyone, for attending. Thank you, Joseph, for hosting. And we look forward to receiving your emails. And if you have any question, we'll be happy to send you as well the presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you.
Thanks.